That woman has a pair of hands that go right through you.
Still in love with her, in spite of all we said about you.
Are all women like you two? Do they never think of anything about a man except what they can get out of him? You weren't even thinking that about me. You were only thinking whether your gloves would last.
I shall not have to think about that when we are married.
And you think I am going to marry you after what I heard here?
You heard nothing from me that I did not tell you before.
Perhaps you think I can't do without you.
I think you would feel lonely without us all now, after coming to know us so well.
Am I never to have the last word?
Captain Shotover appears at the starboard door.
There is a soul in torment here. What is the matter?
Oh, this girl doesn't want to spend her life wondering how long her gloves will last.
Don't wear any. I never do.
He goes into the pantry. Lady Utterword appears at the port garden door.
In a handsome dinner dress.
Is anything the matter?
This gentleman wants to know, is he never to have the last word?
I should let him have it, my dear. The important thing is not to have the last word, but to have your own way.
She wants both.
She won't get them, Mr. Mangan. Providence always has the last word.
Now you're going to come religion over me? In this house, a man's mind might as well be a football. I'm going.
He makes for the hall, but is stopped short by a hail from the captain, who has just emerged from his pantry.
Whither away, Boss Mangan?
The hell out of this house. Let that be enough for you and all here.
You were welcome to come. You are free to go. The wide earth, the high seas, the spacious skies are waiting for you outside.
But your things, Mr. Mangan. Your bag, your comb and brushes, your pajamas.
Hector appears at the port doorway.
In a handsome Arab costume.
Why should the escaping slave take his chains with him?
That's right, Hushabye. Keep the pajamas, my lady, and much good may they do you.
Let us all go out into the night and leave everything behind us.
You stay where you are, the lot of you. I want no company, especially female company.
Let him go. He is unhappy here. He is angry with us.
Go, Boss Mangan, and when you have found the land where there is happiness and where there are no women, send me its latitude and longitude, and I will join you there.
You will certainly not be comfortable without your luggage, Mr. Mangan.
Go. Why don't you go? It is a heavenly night. You can sleep on the heath. Take my waterproof to lie on. It is hanging up in the hall.
Breakfast at 9, unless you preferred breakfast with the captain at 6.
Good night, Alfred.
Alfred!
He runs back to the door and calls into the garden.
Randall! Mangan's Christian name is Alfred!
Randall appears in the starboard doorway in evening dress.
Then Hesione wins her bet.
Mrs. Hushabye appears in the port doorway.
She throws her left arm round Hector's neck.
Draws him with her to the back of the sofa.
And throws her right arm round Lady Utterword's neck.
They wouldn't believe me, Alf.
They contemplate him.
Is there any more of you coming in to look at me, as if I were the latest thing in a menagerie?
You are the latest thing in this menagerie.
Before Mangan can retort,
A fall of furniture is heard from upstairs.
then a pistol shot.
Yells
The staring group breaks up in consternation.
Help! A burglar! Help!
A burglar?
No, Hector, you'll be shot.
But it is too late.
He has dashed out past Mangan.
Who hastily moves towards the bookshelves out of his way.
Captain Shotover blows his whistle.
All hands aloft!
He strides out after Hector.
My diamond!
She follows the captain.
Randall rushes out after her.
No, Ariadne, let me!
Oh, is Papa shot?
She runs out.
Are you frightened, Alf?
No, it ain't my house, thank God.
If they catch a burglar, shall we have to go into court as witnesses and be asked all sorts of questions about our private lives?
You won't be believed if you tell the truth.
Mazzini, terribly upset with a dueling pistol in his hand.
Comes from the hall and makes his way to the drawn table.
Oh, my dear Mrs. Hushabye, I might have killed him.
He throws the pistol on the table and staggers round to the chair.
I hope you won't believe I really intended to.
Hector comes in.
Marching an old and villainous-looking man before him by the collar.
He plants him in the middle of the room and releases him.
Ellie follows.
And immediately runs across to the back of her father's chair and pats his shoulders.
Randall enters with a poker.
Keep your eye on this door, Mangan. I'll look after the other.
Randall goes to the starboard door and stands on guard there.
Lady Utterword comes in after Randall and goes to Mrs. Hushabye and Mangan.
Nurse Guinness brings up the rear and waits near the door on Mangan's left.
What has happened?
Your housekeeper told me there was somebody upstairs and gave me a pistol that Mr. Hushabye had been practicing with. I thought it would frighten him, but it went off at a touch.
Yes, and took the skin off my ear. Precious near took the top off my head. Why don't you have a proper revolver instead of a thing like that? That goes off if you as much as blow on it.
One of my dueling pistols. Sorry.
He put his hands up and said it was a fair cop.
So it was. Send for the police.
Oh, by thunder, it was not a fair cop. We were 4-1.
What will they do to him?
10 years, beginning with solitary. 10 years off my life. I shan't serve it all. I'm too old. It'll see me out.
You should have thought of that before you stole my diamonds.
Well, you've got them back, lady, haven't you? Can you give me back the years of my life you're going to take from me?
Oh, we can't bury a man alive for 10 years for a few diamonds.
10 little shining diamonds. 10 long, black years.
Think of what it is for us to be dragged through the horrors of a criminal court and have all our family affairs in the papers. If you were a native and Hastings could order you a good beating and send you away, I shouldn't mind. But here in England, there is no real protection for any respectable person.
I'm too old to be give a hiding, lady. Send for the police and have done with it. It's only just and right you should.
Randall has relaxed his vigilance on seeing the burglar so pacifically disposed.
He comes forward, swinging the poker between his fingers like a well-folded umbrella.
It is neither just nor right that we should be put to a lot of inconvenience to gratify your moral enthusiasm, my friend. You had better get out while you have the chance.
No. I must work my sins off, my conscience. This has come as a sort of a call to me. Let me spend the rest of my life repenting in a cell. I shall have my reward above.
Well, the very burglars can't behave naturally in this house.
My good sir, you must work out your salvation at somebody else's expense. Nobody here is going to charge you.
Oh, you won't charge me, won't you?
No. I'm sorry to be inhospitable, but will you kindly leave the house?
Right. I'll go to the police station and give myself up.
He turns resolutely to the door.
But Hector stops him.
Don't be silly. Can't you repent at
Don't be a
home?
fool.
You will have to do as you are told.
It's compounding a felony, you know.
This is utterly ridiculous. Are we to be forced to prosecute this man when we don't want to?
Am I to be robbed of my salvation to save you the trouble of spending a day at the sessions? Is that justice? Is it right? Is it fair to me?
Come, let me show you how you can turn your very crime to account. Why not set up as a locksmith? You must know more about locks than most honest men.
That's true, sir. But I couldn't set up as a locksmith under 20 pounds.
Well, you can easily steal 20 pounds. You will find it in the nearest bank.
Oh, what a thing for a gentleman to put into the head of a poor criminal, scrambling out of the bottomless pit, as it were. Shame on you, sir. Oh, God forgive you.
He throws himself into the big chair and covers his face as if in prayer.
Really, Randall?
It seems to me that we shall have to take up a collection for this inopportunely contrite sinner.
But 20 pounds is ridiculous.
I shall have to buy a lot of tools, lady.
Nonsense. You have your burgling kit.
What's a jimmy and a centibit, and an acetylene welding plant, and a bunch of skeleton keys? I shall want a forge, and a smithy, and a shop, and some fittings. I can't hardly do it for 20.
My worthy friend, we haven't got 20 pounds.
You can raise it among you, can't you?
Give him a sovereign, Hector, and get rid of him.
Hector gives him a pound.
There. Off with you.
The burglar rises and takes the money very ungratefully.
I won't promise you nothing. You have more on you than a quid. All the lot of you, I mean.
Oh, let us prosecute him and have done with it. I have a conscience too, I hope, and I do not feel at all sure that we have any right to let him go, especially if he's going to be greedy and impertinent.
All right, lady, all right. I have no wish to be anything but agreeable. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you kindly.
He is hurrying out when he is confronted in the doorway by Captain Shutover.
What's this? Are there two of you?
The burglar falls on his knees before the captain in abject terror.
Oh my good Lord, what have I done? Don't tell me it's your house I've broken into, Captain Shotover.
The captain seizes him by the collar, drags him to his feet, and leads him to the middle of the group, Hector falling back beside his wife to make way for them.
The captain turns him towards Ellie.
Is that your daughter?
Well, how do I know, Captain? You know the sort of life you and me has led. Any young lady of that age might be my daughter, anywhere in the wide world. as you might say.
Captain Shotover turns to Mazzini.
You are not Billy Dunn. This is Billy Dunn. Why have you imposed on me?
The burglar turns indignantly to Mazzini Dunn.
Have you been giving yourself out to be me? You that night blew my head off? Shooting yourself, in a manner of speaking.
My dear Captain Shotover, ever since I came into this house, I've done hardly anything else but assure you that I'm not Mr. William Dunn, but Mazzini Dunn, a very different person.
You don't belong to my branch, Captain. There's two sets of the family, the thinking Dunns and the drinking Dunns, each going their own ways. I'm a drinking Dunn. He's a thinking Dunn. But that didn't give him any right to shoot me.
So you've turned burglar, have you?
No, Captain. I wouldn't disgrace our old seat calling by such a thing. I'm no burglar.
What were you doing with my diamonds?
What did you break into the house for if you're no burglar?
Mistook the house for your own and came in by the wrong window, huh?
Well, it's no use telling you a lie. I can take in most captains, but not Captain Shotover, because he sold himself to the devil in Zanzibar and can divine water, spot gold, explode a cartridge in your pocket with a glance of his eye, and see the truth hidden in the heart of a man. But I'm no burglar.
Are you an honest man?
I don't set up to be better than my fellow creatures, and never did, as you well know, Captain. But what I do is innocent and pious. I inquire about for houses where the right sort of people live. I work it on them same as I worked it here. I break into the house, put a few spoons or diamonds in my pocket, make a noise, get caught, and take up a collection. And you wouldn't believe how hard it is to get caught when you're actually trying to. I have knocked over all the chairs in the room without a soul paying any attention to me. In the end, I've had to walk out and leave the job.
When that happens, do you put back the spoons and diamonds?
Well, I don't fly in the face of Providence, if that's what you want to know.
Guinness, you remember this man?
I should think I do, seeing I was married to him, the blackguard.
Married to him?
It wasn't legal. I've been married to no end of women. No use coming that over me.
Take him to the forecastle.
Captain Shotover flings Billy Dunn into the door with a strength beyond his years.
I suppose you mean the kitchen. They won't have him there. Do you expect servants to keep company with thieves and all sorts?
Land thieves and water thieves are the same flesh and blood. I'll have no bosun on my quarterdeck. Off with you both.
Yes, Captain.
He goes out humbly.
Will it be safe to have him in the house like that?
Why didn't you shoot him, sir? If I'd known who he was, I'd have shot him myself.
She goes out.